Okay, filling out your hero form is super easy. Don't forget to put your first and last name in this spot. And then you will go ahead and go to the next section. Keep in mind as you fill out this form, if you do not get it done within one class period, you can submit the whole form. It'll save the information and you can come back to it later and finish filling out the form. Now, as I stated in the intro video, you will be thinking of 3 people that you would like to choose to focus on for this unit. You did fill out 3 individuals on your second assignment for the bioscript, so if you would like to use them, feel free to do so. If you want to change someone, that's fine too. Just make sure that you pick a real person, someone who actually existed, not a fictional character, not a superhero or a cartoon character. We want to look at real live heroes or people that have lived in the past. They don't have to be living now. So I'm going to show you how to fill out your first hero. The questions are the same for each of the 3 heroes. So in this section, I'm just going to answer the question, who is the hero? I'm going to focus on my first hero. The second question asks you to think of a trait that you liked about them. Keep in mind the trait needs to be a behavior characteristic, something that they show in their own behavior. So I always thought that Neil Armstrong was a leader. So leadership is the trait that I'm going to focus on for him. You'll need to give some kind of explanation of how your hero showed that trait so that it shows evidence you understand that trait. In other words, if you put that you like someone because they are a good singer, a good singer is something that is a result of the trait that they have. In other words, if they're determined to practice all the time to be a good singer, determination would be the trait, not being a good singer. That's just the product of that trait. So how could I explain Neil Armstrong's leadership? Well, he was the first person to walk on the moon. Being the first in something shows leadership. So that is how I'll explain how he showed leadership. And then on this last question, you're going to focus on yourself. How could you actually show that same trait? I can't be the first person to walk on the moon because that's already been done, but I can be the first person to do something which shows leadership. Since leadership is the trait that I chose, it doesn't have to be leadership in your case if you like them because they're kind or determined or funny or loyal, whatever the case is. But you need to explain briefly how you would show that same trait. So I could be the first person in my family to do something. Oops. And that would show evidence that I understand what that trait actually means. So that was pretty easy. That was the first hero. Once you've completed your information for your first hero, you'll click on Next, and you'll fill out the information for your second hero. Now, again, if you don't have time in a class period to fill out all 3 heroes, that's fine. You can go down to the very last section by clicking on Next, and you can submit your form. Okay, that form will be there and save the information that you put in a previous class. Now, before I let you go, what I want you to remember is always, always, always save your form address. Okay, you'll click on the star, save it in your computers, and then click on Done. Once you're finished, what I'd like for you to do is copy that address. So you can click on it, right click and copy. You'll go into the assignment post in Edmodo. And in Edmodo, I would like for you to turn in that address and let me know when you're finished with your form. So So you would go into the Hero post for this assignment for the forms, click on Turn In, and you can scroll down to this text field, right click and paste, and click on Turn In Assignment. And that will submit your address, and I can look at and grade your form, and you can move on to the next assignment. And that concludes the Hero form video. You may move on to work on your Hero form.